name is Peter Click. I'm a college student at Western Connecticut State University in my junior year. I'm a major in English language and literature. I study a wealth of really wonderful, beautiful things every day, from poetry to some of the finest contributions in literature in the English language, ranging from American and British authors. But you would think with all these things that I have knowledge in that I would have a job fitting to that. Well, guess what? I'm a janitor. I've been a janitor for a couple of years, and that's all I've ever done to make money. But, aside from that, I'd like to talk about one of my very first jobs I got before I started my college career and before I started cleaning schools out. My father had found me a job just when I started high school. I was getting, allowances at that time, $20 from my parents, $20 from my grandparents. I didn't really care. I just was content with the way things were. He says, "Hey, Peter, got this job at the video store for you. He's taking in somebody that would run the front desk. He's a cashier." And I'm thinking to myself, alright, I'll give it a try. It's a good learning experience. So I walk in, dressed up in the best of my ability, a shitty dress shirt, pair of slacks, and the guy hires me on the spot. He's well-groomed, and I'm professional. If only that were the truth. Anyway, start my first day, and he points the computer out on the desk. He says, "Hey, Peter, you see this?" And I say, "Yeah." And mind you guys, I had a computer addiction problem. I never did my work in school. I was always focused with going online and playing games and going on chat rooms. But that's aside the point. He says, "Don't touch that while you're working, and use it only if you have a school project or homework to do. That would be fine." So using that reason, I bent it to my own excuse to use it. So I got caught a couple of times using it, and he would get real irritated. And that too, I would mess up. I would put the tapes back wrong. I would clean the shop up. I put nothing in order. I was just terrible. I don't even know why this guy held on to me so long. And toward my last days working there, something really interesting happened. Okay, so as I was saying, something interesting happened. It's about 10 at night. This is around the time I closed the store up. And now, I'm looking to the front door, and I hear somebody come inside. And I'm thinking to myself, that's a weird time to be coming by. They know I'm closing by now. And I see the shadow from where the shelves are moving toward the register. And I'm thinking, there's somebody got to be here. I just don't see him. And then, the shelves that go toward the register, they block the view of who's walking in initially. It's like diagonal. So I see these pair of white tips going across the shelves. And if you've ever seen a cowboy hat, or a traveler's hat more particularly, they have these points at the end of the brim. And I'm like, who is this? Is somebody of really short height coming in? And then sure enough, just before the person walks out, I say, "Hey, how can I help you?" It's my brother dressed in this horrible pig mask. He jumps at me, leaps over the counter. I scream for my life. I've never been so frightened. I fall and break one of the shelves behind me, and then, a couple $100 of electronics, merchandise, tapes, DVDs, DVD player, game console, all fall down and break. And that was it for that. But mind you, all of this was captured on tape, all of it. And so the next day, my boss comes in, and sure enough, he's rather pissed. He says, "Hey, Peter, what's this I caught on tape?" And I'm like, "What's what?" And he goes, "Oh, you know what, come here." So we review the footage, and then sure enough, the whole incident plays out again. He goes, "Who the fuck is this asshole coming in and scaring you, breaking all my shit? I'm gonna take out of your check." And I said, "That's my brother." Like, "You know this guy?" I said, "I just told you, it's my brother." He just was really irritated with me at this point. And then, this is probably toward one of the last days too. These people I knew from a martial arts place right across. These three guys, I knew them when I used to work, training there. They come in, I talk to them, and I just figured I'd mess with them a little bit. And I say, "Hey guys, you want to see something crazy? I bet I can make one of those shelves in back vibrate." And they're like, "Oh no, you can't, you fucking crazy, you can't do something like that. The only one that could do that is Master Song. He's the one that runs the place." And I'm like, "No, I'm telling you, I can." And to this day, I don't get how I did it, or even if I did it at all, but it really happened. I close my eyes and I just pretend I'm focusing all my energy. Sure enough, the shelf vibrates, right? And rather violently, something falls off. Okay, so as I was saying, I closed my eyes and I was focusing on something, just pretending. I don't even know how this happened. The shelf in the back vibrates rather violently, and a bunch of stuff falls off the case, like five DVD cases. The one guy standing, he's the leader of the group, his eyes widen, And he's like, let's get the fuck out of here, and they'll go bolting out the door. I'm just standing there in my own stupor. I'm like, how the fuck did I do that? And so I ended up getting fired. The guy didn't want me there anymore, which is all well and good. I shot myself in the foot anyway. So about 2 years later, I got a job in a fast food joint. This is after I started doing summer cleanups at schools and getting my feet wet with cleaning. This is actually toward my last days. I was working there too. And one night I'm just running the register. The place is actually rather busy. I'm looking at the window and I see this shadow coming up just like last time. And I'm like, okay, it's probably just people coming into the front door. It's my brother, dressed up in a shark costume. It has like the legs hanging about there, everything. He walks in Walloon like this, and he just presses himself against the glass. I'm doing everything I can to contain my laughter because I'm taking orders. I gotta do my job. And then my boss turns and looks, and she goes, "Who is this person? Do you know him?" I'm like, "Yes." And she says, "Who is he?" I said, "It's my brother, dressed in a shark suit." And if that weren't enough, he goes away from the window, kicks open the front door, walks in, kicks the other door open, and then just starts, I don't know what, he just puts his arms out like this, and walks in, everybody's looking, the whole store pauses, everybody would do, it's almost like a freeze frame, just everyone starts laughing. Then he gets on the floor and does the backwards worm dance. I would do it for you, but I can't. And they're taking pictures, and then my boss even took a picture with him. He puts his arm around her like this, you know, that generic kind of picture. And then he says, "Hey Peter, me and Dad are waiting outside." And so after he leaves and I'm getting ready to go, he tells me later that there were these two girls hanging out outside, and they were screaming the minute they saw him, like a fan would in a concert. And he goes, "Hey girls, you want to get eaten by a shark?" And he goes running up to them and then gives them a hug, and that's all I know from that. But just the fact that he would say that to two complete strangers, I don't know what the hell is wrong with that kid. Yeah, so I'm barely scratching the surface of what's going on in my life. There's even worse things than that, and this is past stuff. Current stuff is even funnier than this. But, thanks for listening to me tonight. It's my first time and it means a lot. Have a nice night. Take care.